So whether you are trying to get a head start in one realm and you're going to get to castle level 8 and then you're going to transfer it over, or if you're starting fresh from scratch in a new realm and you're building up without moving, it's really important to know how to be efficient and how to build quickly. Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video, we're going to go over everything you need to think about and everything you need to do as you go from castle level 1 to castle level 15. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first we have the tutorial. That tutorial will get you to around castle level 4. At this point, before you do anything else, number one thing you need to do is bind your account. So you click your profile picture, you go to account. You have different options depending on whether you're using iOS or you're using Android. So depending on what you're using, you'll be given different options. I'm on iOS, so I can use Facebook, I can use my Apple Game Center, or I can use just my normal Apple account to bind. So that's the first thing you want to do. You will get rewards for doing that. If you double bind, you'll get twice as many. And you will also want to bind your account to your email up here, and you'll secure your account and you'll get some speed ups as well, and super important. Next, you want to, if at all possible, there's 3 things, and this is for your main account. There's 3 things you're gonna want to spend on. If you spend on them now, it'll save you in the long run, and it'll speed up this whole process to get to 15, 20, or even higher by doing this. So the very first thing you'll want to do is go ahead and get the New Lord discount. It's a pretty inexpensive pack at $1. Gives you some speed ups, and it also gives you some resources. Next, you'll want to get the Eternal Golden Hammer pack, which gives you your second builder, so that you can build 2 things at the same time. Super critical. You'll also get some speed ups, as you can tell, and lots of resources. Now, the next thing, if you click sale over here, you go to monthly card pack. If at all possible, get the Supreme card pack. What it does is it will reduce the amount of resources you have to spend on buildings as long as you have this active. So if you get the 30-day, that means during that 30 days, it'll cost you, negative 1 million to build a building. So that means from 1 to 20, you basically won't be spending any resources at all. So it's awesome. It's amazing. If you can, also do the value card. Now, if you can't spend that much, if you can't spend $19.99 for the first 30 days, if you can get the $6.99, it will also reduce the amount of resources you have to spend by a lot less, but still it's going to help you in the long run. So I would at least get the value card if you can't get both. Okay? Next, another critical thing, and this is another thing to spend on. If you spend on this now, it'll save you so much in the long run. You'll get so many gems from this that there's no way you can get this many gems other than getting this Growth Fund pack, which will eventually run out, and you won't be able to purchase it, after 30 days. Okay, so you have 30 days to purchase this. You could wait further along. If you don't want to spend another $10 here, I would get that Supreme card if you can, because it's going to help you a lot more in the very beginning. But this is another really important thing to get before this 30 days runs out, because it's going to give you a total of 82,500 gems, and it'll give you a little bit at different levels as you go up. All right, so that's all the spending you need to do. The rest is pretty darn easy. So what you want to do is you want to follow these events. So this castle upgrade, make sure you get the rewards for these and the growth as well. Go ahead and grab the rewards for that. It's going to give you speed ups and it's going to give you resources. You have the daily rewards. You want to get those. And again, if you do get the 30-day pack, you'll also get additional rewards from that. All of these things, you want to take advantage of all of this as you go. So then you have the King's Road. You want to follow this. This is your guide to level up your castle. It's going to give you lots of resources and it's going to give you speed ups as you go. So you just want to kind of just follow this through. So you build in a sawmill. You might as well just go ahead and do a farm because it's going to ask you for a farm eventually. You're going to want to do it a little bit more orderly when you're setting up. When you're looking at, what you have here, you want to leave some room for like your medic tents. And then you're going to want to put your training grounds maybe. It's good. I like to keep them together because it makes it a lot easier, because you'll see when you get that Supreme card here, not only does it give you the ability to reduce the amount of resources that you spend, but in addition, you'll be able to do you'll be able to schedule building. So you use up your 2 hammers and then you would be able to schedule. You'll see a schedule button show up, so that in the beginning your build times are kind of low, but eventually you're going to run out of speed ups and you're going to have something that's going to build for 6 hours, maybe two things that are going to build for 6 hours. Well, when you go to bed or when you go to work, or you're in some situation where you can't check your phone, your mobile device to keep things building, scheduling out your medic tents and your training grounds, so that whenever your main builders finish, it goes over to the scheduled and it just keeps things working. It is going to be really, really important as you go, especially in the beginning of the game. So again, Castle 1 to 15 is pretty easy, especially if you get the packs that I mentioned. Focus on following all of these quests all the way through. You see here. So now it's going to have me do another sawmill, and I'm going to do it here. All right, so I'm going to follow that. And now I can get the chapter rewards. Go to the next chapter. Claim that. And then you just want to go through. It's going to have you build out, the buildings that you have here. You can just click free. All right, follow that through. And if you do this, you'll have the resources and the speed ups you need to get to like castle level 8 or 9. Pretty easy, fast. And we'll go ahead and follow this through. Pretty easy. So it's another thing, like before you get going too far, once you can build your college, you're going to want to research architecture as high as you can. So you want to raise up your architecture and then raise up your university, your college as high as you can to keep up with the ability to research this. And this is going to reduce the amount of time it takes to build any of your buildings. So you're gonna the big limiter for you if you got those cards is you're gonna have all the resources you need to get to level 15 quick. The only thing that's gonna stop you, is gonna slow you down, is your speed ups. So if you get this, it'll reduce the amount of time that reduce the amount of speed ups that you need to actually do this. So here, then I would raise up my college again. As high as I can. Now it's going to have me go to the university, to the castle. Again, if I would have got the Supreme card on this, it would be free. Go through and do that. And you know, I'm still low, so the amount of time is not going to really matter. But don't forget to go to development in your college and raise up architecture. Now's the time to do it. Don't wait until you're already, castle level 15 or something. It's all going to add up over time, where these, 1 or 2% at a time is going to really make a big difference for you. So you can see here, I'm already at 4%, almost at 5% increase. So when you're talking days of time to raise up a castle level, that 4, 5, 10% or whatever is really going to be meaningful for you. So, we talked about these different packs that you get. One of those packs is that, like the growth fund, for example. And you're gonna get a ton of gems as you start going up, and you're gonna have gems, and it's gonna be really tempting for you to spend those to boost up your castle. I don't recommend that at all. Really, really try not to use your gems to boost up your castle. What you're gonna want to use those for is on weekends, and I don't think I have it here now. On weekends, you're going to have the weekend sale shop that's going to show up in your events. And within there, you can get Lord XP. You can get 250k Lord XP, and I think it's for 4,000 gems, something like that. That's going to be really important to you as you build up your main character, your main castle, because you're going to want to keep up with other people as much as you possibly can without going crazy, right? So having those extra gems to boost up your Lord XP is really important. Another thing is VIP. If I had, a ton of extra gems, I would rather raise up my VIP than spend it, to save a day on a castle build. And these games overall are the reason that we spend a lot of times is patience, right? Or lack of patience. So be a little bit patient with your castles building up. It's okay if you have the golden hammer, the second hammer, you're able to build additional buildings, and just keep it going. Follow these quests again as fast as you can, as much as you can. And this one's gonna increase the amount of land I have here so that I can have more buildings. Each of these have a level before you can actually use it. But little things like that, you can also click and get some more rewards. So when I say on the spending, I wouldn't spend all my gems on VIP, because again, you can click VIP and just kind of throw all your gems into it. You can just go through here and knock out 1,000 at a time. That's not too smart either. There's other ways to get gems. You can get gems here on the merchant ship. It's not open yet, but you'll be able to get them there. You'll be able to get them in the weekend sale as well. They'll have them in there. You'll have them in different places where you can get them. You do want to get VIP. You do want to build up your Lord XP, relatively as quick as you can, as well as your beast as well. I tend to overlook the beast a lot, and it is critical. So in your 1 to 15, level 1 to 15, you want to get all of your buildings going. You want to build up your barracks, your 4 barracks up to 15. You want to build everything up as high as you can. as you go. Now, it depends on what your goal is here. If your goal is to get, say, to a certain tier, like a 22, to get your tier 8s, or a 26 for tier 9, or wow, up to castle level 30, so you can start getting your Azurite and you can start building your T10s. There's different goals you're going to have, and it just depends on a lot of things, like the amount of resources that you have access to. You're going to have this Supreme card maybe, which is going to reduce the amount of resources that you need. But once you get up to around 2021, you're still going to be using your own resources in addition to that, what it saves you. And it's going to get really high. So you should be building out your farms. I can't really personally manage more than, let's say, 4 or 5. At that point, it becomes very difficult for me to keep up with them on a daily basis, and to make sure that they don't get zeroed and I lose the resources, to make sure that they're all on tiles, gathering all the time, and that my main is over emptying them. Beyond 4 or 5, it becomes very difficult for me. It's a time thing, right? I know some people can do 20 farms or 30 farms, and they can do it efficiently. I don't have the patience or the time to do that. So I end up getting resources on weekends in some of the packs that they have there. I end up, through PvP, trying to get resources that way, as much as I can. I'll actually do one of the tricks that I do, and it's a spending thing, but I'm trying to be as efficient as I can. Normally the $4.99 packs that you can get resources with, and you'll even have resources that you can get right here. So normally this $4.99 pack is going to give you the most amount of resources for the least amount of money. So what I would do is I would get, say, this $2.99 pack. I would get it on each of my farms, and then I would send my farms troops away. I would use some of this to build up some troops, some cav for them, so that they can farm a little bit more efficiently. But then I would take, I would get the resources, I would send their troops away, and then I would go in with my main and clean them out, and that would be a way for me to efficiently get resources more than I would if I just bought all the way through to the $9.99 pack. I do that, and if you have five accounts, there's $15, and you're getting a ton of food and wood here, or you would get eventually you'd have access to iron and stone as well. But it'll help you. It'll give you a little bit of a boost, especially for the amount that you spend. If you're not spending, you're going to need more farms. So you're going to have to be very good at farms. So you're going to want, depending on your patience, and if you're free to play, and you're very patient, then you might be able to do it 5 or so farms. If you're not very patient and you still want to build up relatively quickly, you're going to want to expand the number of farms that you're using. So it is a time versus money type of thing. So again, castle level 1 to 15 is pretty easy. So another thing that you're going to want to do, obviously you're going to want to join an alliance. So in your 1 to 15, now if you don't know anyone in this realm and you're not married to it, then forget everything I said about spending. Don't spend even a penny. Your goal in that first day or 2 or 3 is to look and see if this realm is going to be good for you. So the things you want to look for is you want to look in world chat, And if you're not in Alliance, that's what you see by default. So, and you want to look through here, and you want to see what kind of players are out there. Is it interesting? Do you know anybody? Is it busy? What are they saying? You want to look in your rankings, and I would look out here and look at castle rankings. If the realm just opened and you see someone go to 40, and then you'd see them in world chat, them or someone in their alliance that's very, very toxic, it may not be worth it to you to stay in this realm. That's why we're building this new realm together. Check out my other videos on that. We're trying to make it so that whenever we do get in, we can build up as fast as we can without having to worry that, hey, this is just going to be a wasted investment. I'm going to have to do this all over again in a month or two. We're trying to make it where that is not the case. But if you are, here with a group of friends, you're on your new server, your new realm, and you're really into it, then again, if you do have the Supreme card and everything, you will be able to get to 15 relatively quickly. It won't be a problem at all. If you're not spending a penny, I would go ahead and get a couple farms and start building up their cav now. As you get to the point, when I say now, when you get to the point where your builder is busy and is going to be busy for a while, an hour or more, and you're out of speed ups, there's no way you can get that done. Go ahead and start build, and you've already bound your account. Move on to your farms and do the same thing and get them up to that point where then you're just waiting. And then when you get to the point on your next farm, go ahead, do the same thing, and you've bound it, right? Keep binding those accounts, be sure. Go to the next account, your next farm, do the same thing, so on and so forth. On a farm, it's the only real difference is, other than following the guide here on the King's Road and getting all of the rewards and everything that's going to help you build up, once you get to 15, you're going to stop. So think of that. There's no reason to build up all of your buildings other than what you absolutely need here, to go up. You're going to want to build up your barracks to level 4, and you can stop there because you're just going to get the level 2 dragon riders on your farms. And your farms are just gonna, you're gonna build more and more and more and more of those level 2 dragon riders because they are the cheapest and most efficient troop for gathering. So you're gonna want, many, many thousands of those so that you can keep your farm busy on tiles. I wouldn't even worry on a farm about the beast. I wouldn't even build it. And definitely do not build up your walls and don't build up your depot above what is required for you to get to castle level 15. You want to go to level 15 so that you can get iron. If you're not worried about iron, and you won't be in the beginning, just focus, get them up to level 10 or so, just so that you can get stone and just build them up. And start getting the resources that you need to build up your main. And so just keep doing that. When you get to that point where they can't go any higher without a wait, go to the next one and do it again and again. You may have trouble with, you're going to run out of binding your account, and that's a whole separate video on ways that you can go about having multiple accounts. All right, so I hope that this helps. The next video that I will be working on is how to go from castle level 15 to 20 and what you need to focus on and the most efficient way to get there. Talk to you again soon. Take care.